Okay, I'm going to attempt to fix this. This is a Whirlpool Duet dryer. I believe that the contact switch is dirty or shorted, so I'm going to use some Dioxit to clean it. Before you begin this repair, you got to unplug the unit from the wall. Make sure that it has no power going on it while you work on it, and don't plug it back in until well after all of the Dioxit has dried. All right, this is my first YouTube video, and here I'm trying to repair a Whirlpool Duet dryer. Now, what went wrong with this is that I suspected that there was a contact short. Whenever I turned the dial, the drying setter, to normal, the dial would be pointed to normal, but it would pick up the casual setting. And the same happened for bulky items. Now, when it was on the heavy duty or any of the manual settings, everything worked fine. So that indicated to me that the timer was working, but I thought that the mechanical contacts needed cleaning. So I pulled the unit out of the dryer. This is a control board, and the whole thing comes off. And if you see back here, there is a mechanical electrical switch. So what I'm going to try to do, I bought some Dioxit, and I'm going to spray in there and try to clean the contacts so that I can avoid a $300 part repair. Here, I'll show you what else I've done. Now, in order to pull that board off, I disconnected, there's a controller board assembly that's on the side. I disconnected the wire harnesses to it, pulled that out so I could gain access. There's actually 2 screws that you need to remove, one here and one there. Same screw on the other side, in order to pull the front controller user interface board and panel off. Now this is a model, let's see if we can't show it here, GGW9250PW3. You can get the board, a used board, for about $100. New, it's about $270, $280. Since I think the board is actually good with just the contacts, I'm hoping that this fix may work. When I took this cover off, there was a lot of lint and dust in here, so I suspect that that's what's causing the problem on the contacts. So once I spray the Dioxit, I'm hoping, and I ratchet it around a bit, I'm hoping that's going to clean up, and when I put this thing together, it's going to work. All right, let me get the Dioxit. Okay, this is the Dioxit. It's flammable, so I'm going to do this job outside, and I'm going to spray in there, get it good and clean, then wiggle the knob a little bit and spray it again, and then let it dry. You can't put it back in to into the dryer until it's completely dry, because you don't want to get any sparks. All right, let's start cleaning it, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, now I've sprayed it. It's still kind of wet, and there's some of the liquid underneath the plastic cover, so I'm going to leave it unassembled for a while and let it air out. Then I'm going to start putting it back together with the idea that I probably going to wait at least 30-40 minutes to make sure that this is completely dried, because this stuff will, if under a spark, it will ignite. So you got to make sure it's completely dry. And my understanding of the Dioxit D5 is it cleans really well, but one of the downsides is that it dries slowly. At least that's what I understand from some other product literature. All right, let's see if I can get this puppy back together. And hopefully this will fix my problem and save me a $300 part replacement. Okay, I've got this partly reassembled. You can see here, there's still some of the liquid that hasn't dried. So I'm gonna get this thing at least a good 20-30 minutes before I put the knob back on, because that's gonna help it dry out, and certainly before I turn on any power. Keep in mind, I got those 4 screws back in that hold the back on. You see there's two screws there, and there's 2 screws on the other side. Be careful that when you put those in, because if you drop them in the machine, it's going to be hell to try to find them. All right? So now all we got to do is hook up the power and electrical connections to the controller board, and then screw that back on. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all back together. Okay, it worked. The switch now is accurate. It no longer, it used to read 22 or delicate for normal. So now a very nice, easy little fix. Just required, you know, if you knew what you're doing, it's probably, with the drying time, it's 15 minutes worth of work and an hour and a half worth of drying. So Dioxit did the job. All right, I'll post this up, and if you like it, shoot me back some replies.